Hello friends, today I am going to introduce you to an amazing topic that is population genetics. Here we'll see some definitions and the popular Hardy-Weinberg law. Before starting with this, I'd like to tell you that I have started a blog on buymeacoffee.com, Blogger and Medium. The links are in description where you can get the notes of various topics. Please subscribe and share the video. So let's start with our video. Population genetics is a very important topic. It is said that population genetics is where Mendel's theory meets Darwin's theory. Not exactly as said, but somewhat similar to that. Let us understand the definition of population genetics. It is a branch of genetics that studies the distribution or changes in the frequency of allele and genetic variations in or between population leading to evolution. Now, to define population, it is specifically defined as an ultimate self-reproducing grouping of specific individuals which occupies a definite area over an evolutionary long period to form an independent genetic system and an ecological niche of its own. In short, a group of organisms of the same species inhabiting a specific area at a given time. Then coming to gene pool. It is the sum of the genetic material of a population at a given time. This term is typically used in relation to a population made up of individuals of the same species and includes all genes and combinations of genes, some of the alleles in the population. Now, with respect to population genetics, the following definitions are of most importance. Allele frequency. Now, allele frequency is the measure of how much an allele is frequent in a population. It is calculated by the number of particular alleles divided by the total number of alleles present in the given population. Phenotype frequency. It is a ratio stating the number of times a specific phenotype occurs in a population in a single generation. It is calculated by the number of particular phenotype divided by the total number of individuals in that population. Then coming to genotype frequency. Genotype frequency in a population is the number of individuals with the given genotype divided by the total number of individuals in the population. It is calculated by the same, that is, the number of particular genotype divided by the total number of individuals in that population. Now, this is a most important terminology, that is microevolution. It is the change in allele frequency over a period of time in a particular population, and this is due to 4 different processes: mutation, natural or artificial selection, gene flow, and genetic drift. This change happens over a relatively short amount of time as compared to the change termed macroevolution. The mathematical structure for the study of the process of microevolution is studied through population genetics. Pesticide resistance, herbicide resistance, and antibiotic resistance are all examples of microevolution by natural selection. Now coming to one of the important concepts of biology, the Hardy and Weinberg law. Hardy-Weinberg law was discovered independently in 1908 by Wilhelm Weinberg, a German physician, and Godfrey Harold Hardy, a British mathematician. The Hardy-Weinberg law states that in a large random mating population, the genotype and allele frequency remain constant in the absence of any evolutionary influences from one to another generation. The conditions to maintain the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium are no mutation, no gene flow, large population size, random mating, and no natural selection. Because all of these disruptive forces commonly occur in nature, the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium rarely applies in reality. The Hardy-Weinberg formula allows scientists to determine genetic equilibrium or whether evolution has occurred in a population or not. Two formulas are important here. P square plus 2pq plus q square is equal to 1 and p plus q is equal to 1, where p is the frequency of dominant allele in a population, q is the frequency of recessive allele in a population, p square is the percentage of homozygous dominant individual, q square is the percentage of homozygous recessive individual, 2pq is the percentage of heterozygous individuals. Some of the major factors which affect the genetic equilibrium and induce the variability in the population are as follows: mutation, recombination during sexual reproduction, genetic drift, gene migration or gene flow, and natural selection. Applications of Hardy-Weinberg law. Medical geneticists can use the Hardy-Weinberg law to calculate the probability of human matings that may result in defective offsprings. The law is also useful in determining whether the number of harmful mutations in a population is increasing as a result of radiation from industrial processes, medical techniques, and fallouts. Next video in this series of population genetics will be 2-3 examples of problems based on Hardy-Weinberg law. So to stay tuned, like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.